Are you a small business owner or are you a real estate investor and you are wondering when is the right time to hire a good tax advisor on your team? Pay attention to this message, it may help you out. Now, generally for most people in the United States, they have a W-2, maybe they have a few stocks, or maybe they get a 1099 INT from some interest they hold in a savings account. For most people, they probably don't need a tax advisor. But if you ever decide to step out and start your own business, there are a lot of nuances and there are a lot of questions that you may have as you start to actually own and operate your business. For example, what is deductible? Am I setting up my entity correctly? Am I able to open up a retirement account and make contributions to my retirement? What are all the things that I can be doing to lower my tax bill? If you've ever had questions like this, trust me, you're not alone. It's very common for business owners to have these questions. And if you are feeling like this, trust me, you're not alone. And the same thing goes for real estate investors. Maybe if you get your first or your second property and it's a long-term rental, if you have one or two long-term rentals and you have the general concept of how depreciation works, you may not need a tax advisor. But if you're going to try to implement a strategy like a 1031 exchange, or maybe even the short-term rental strategy, or maybe even invest in opportunity zones, I highly recommend that you speak with a tax advisor, because there are definitely a lot of nuances whenever you step into transactions like that, and you don't want to mess something like that up. If you're in the fix and flip business, it's a little different than traditional rentals, and so you may want to speak with a tax advisor if you are doing fix and flips. Generally, the answer all boils down to it really depends. But generally, the more complex your situation gets, the more likely that you will want to speak with a tax advisor instead of trying to do it yourself and make a very expensive mistake.